أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. As usual, we start our presentation by this Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. صدق الله العظيم. My presentation will be about halal industry opportunities in Africa. I am Mohamed Elwathig Saeed Mirghani, working at the International Institute for Halal Research and Training at the International Islamic University, Malaysia, now in Malaysia. However, I am originally from Sudan, original African as well. Thank you. So my presentation outline will be as usual, general introduction, some explanations, and some constituents of halal industry, halal market opportunities, Africa and the halal market, challenges and recommendation. Thank you. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تحرموا طيبات ما أحل الله لكم ولا تعتدوا إن الله لا يحب المعتدين وكلوا مما رزقكم الله حلالا طيبا واتقوا الله الذي أنتم به مؤمنون. And the translation, O ye who believe, forbid not the good thing which Allah has made halal for you, and transgress not, Allah loveth no transgressors. Eat of that which Allah has bestowed on you as food, halal and good, and keep your duty to Allah in whom you are believers. These are from Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 87 and 88. So if you ask ourselves, what is halal? That's maybe explained by so many presenters, but I guess we'll go faster on this one. Halal is a Quranic term meaning permitted, allowed, or lawful. Halal, when used in relation to food and other consumer goods, means permissible for consumption and use by Muslims and other Muslims as well, of course. There is so many terms that in Sharia, they just like mubah. Mubah, that means is the origin of halal. Actually, everything created by Allah is mubah, unless mentioned in the Quran is non-halal, or in Sunnah or Hadith, or done by An-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And the haram, of course, the opposite to halal, is prohibited and unlawful. So continue on definitions. Makruh is very close to haram, that dislike, hated, or detested, or the action and deeds that are referred to negatively in the Sunnah or in the Quran as well. Or everything just like growing fingernails or something like this. There is mashbuh, or sometimes we say shubha, means doubtful. There's some doubtful about something, or suspected. The main domain for halal certification, that's very important in halal certification. Halal and haram are very serious matter in Islam. So about the development and understanding or accepting halal, usually halal was seen to refer only to meat and poultry, specifically when it refers to the slaughtering process or the processing of food or the procedure of slaughtering. That's very, very interesting, very important for Muslims. It's very essential for the kind of animal and the slaughtering procedure and the processing of the meat itself. However, more recently, this has shown to include non-meat foods, such as dairy, baked food, snacks, confectionery, and ready-made or snacks, or any kind of fast food, and other processed food and beverage as well, or beverage products as well. Halal actually is a framework process which has compliance need all the way through the supply chain, from the farm to fork, as we used to say in every presentation. From farm to fork aspects, such as warehousing, transportation, and logistic, all these kind of things play a role in maintaining and demonstrating the halal integrity. So continue on development of understanding halal. From business perspective, the halal market certainly offers a range of convincing opportunities, as many traditional markets reach saturation. The emergence or the starting of a new market based on halal values and principles is in effect creating a new commercial paradigm. This is strongly led by the food and beverage sector, definitely, and has more recently expanded into pharmaceuticals, cosmetic, and personal care sectors, and other sectors as well, just like traveling and tourism and all these new halal sectors. Driven also by increasing of the consumer awareness of halal, and the entrepreneur eye or the business eye for new market opportunities. So as I mentioned in the beginning of this presentation, halal is not only about food and drinks. Halal is a way of life, or we can tell about halal lifestyle that includes many constituents, such food and beverage, or food, drinks, pharmaceuticals and health product, cosmetic and personal care products, dress and textile industry also included in halal, tourism, travel and hospitality services, finance, banking and takaful, logistics and transport and shipping as well, or the kind of transport or the shipping or other kind of transport. Halal standards also included as one part of the halal constituency industry. If we have a look at the world halal market, the increasing awareness of Muslim consumers on their religious obligations creates a greater demand for halal food and other consumer goods and services. The population of Muslim worldwide now is approaching 2 billion so far. Halal trade is now about 2.3 trillion US dollar, which is very encouraging. The global halal market appeared as a rapid growing sector in the global market. However, according to Quran, halal is for all mankind. Continuing on halal market, halal is creating a strong pressure in the developed countries nowadays. Also, with the growing consumer base and increasing population, the industry is set to become competitive force in the international trade. This is normal for any kind of goods. However, the halal industry has now expanded well beyond the food sector, further widening the economic potentials. This presentation, or in this presentation, where I'm trying to show or explore the halal market potential in Africa. So if we see this figure about the world Muslim population, it was 1.6 billion in 2012 and expected to be 2.2 in 2030, and we expect it to be also 2.6 billion in 2050. That will be a very great opportunity for halal production, for halal trade, for halal business. All these Muslims, for them is mandatory to go for halal, or to live halal, or to have the halal lifestyle. So now we can tell that halal is a new horizon of opportunity, because the global Muslim population, as we saw in the previous figure, is going to be 2.6 billion by 2050. that will be almost about 30% of the world population. So the Muslims are the fastest growing consumer segment in the world. Therefore, it is not surprising that market for halal products and services is attracting more attention nowadays. A company that doesn't consider how to serve this consumer segment or the Muslim population is missing actually significant opportunity. So if we look at Africa, where is Africa from this halal market? If we saw that this statistic for Muslim population in some African countries, I didn't have all the African countries, I just select most of them. Anyway, I have 2 slides on this. If you see, just like Algeria have 99% Muslim, anyone in red is more than 30% Muslim. The one in black is less than this. Almost Benin also have so many, but the population is not that high, but almost 30% also. Cameroon also 30% Muslim, and Chad is 58%, and so on. Egypt, high population. Eritrea, Ethiopia, Guinea, Libya, all these countries have very high Muslim population in Africa. This also continues on the same statistic population of some African countries. You see the red here is increasing. Mali, Mauritania, Morocco, Angola, Nigeria, all these have very high Muslim population, or the percentage of Muslim population is very high in all these African countries. Most of them is like that. So summarizing the previous statistics, the global halal food market, or the halal market in general, not only food, is expected to reach $3.2 trillion by 2027. Muslims in Africa are more than 550 million, or 550 million population. Muslims in Africa are about 47% of the total population in Africa, which is almost 50%. Almost half of the population are Muslim. They are more than 25% of the world Muslim population. So this table shows the potential growth in halal sectors. Yes, all these are not all the halal sectors, but this is most of them. Cosmetic and personal care, that's in billion USD. Also agriculture is 41.5. Pharmaceutical, Islamic finance, logistics, travel industry, and others. You see, for agriculture, food is included in agriculture, but if you come to food, we'll increase this amount also. We don't have the food and beverage here as a separate sector, but if it comes, we'll increase this 275 billion US dollar. The source of this is halal industry development. So to complete the previous slide, to show the halal potential in the world market, so we show this slide to show that the food and beverage are 61% of the halal market worldwide. And this already shown in the previous slide, the pharmaceutical, cosmetic and personal care, and others as well. So we make it reliable. We show the food is very important part of the halal market, or the global halal market. So to show the markets with high potential for halal food in Africa, we follow from the previous table. We summarize this population, the largest Muslim population in Egypt, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Algeria, Morocco, Sudan, and other countries as well. I didn't show all of them. So the high purchasing power, this according to the economy also. Libya, it used to be, I hope it come back again. Algeria, Egypt, population Morocco, Ethiopia, Sudan, and others as well here. So this sequence are also subject to change according to so many factors, political or any other issues will change this sequence. It's not must to follow exactly the same sequence. So here, if we try to show the evolution of halal market or the growth of halal market, it depends on this maybe 4 or 5 lifestyle, or we talk about halal lifestyle. It depends ethics and moral values and the norm and culture as well, the halal culture or Muslim culture also. Also, if we see the upmarket, the natural should be halal, should usually natural, usually organic, usually eco-ethical, just like animal welfare, something like this. And if you, for regulatory, the standards, the halal standards, and the halal certification, and the halal auditing, and also the accreditation for halal as well. So also the helping us, the mainstream of halal, of course the product of wide range and global, it should be available everywhere. The presence of that kind of product, you find it everywhere to make it easy to help the market. And the diverse, also you find whatever this, select whatever, which one you select, all should be for helping the halal market or evolution of the halal market. So the halal market parameters will be affected by this about the availability and acceptance of the halal product or the products in general, whatever the kind of product. Also, this will interfere with the influential by an opinion forming for this kind of product. Also, the halal quality assurance or the halal itself as quality assurance. The halal will be part of the quality assurance. Halal, usually for food we go for halal and tayyiban. So it should be halal and good. So if the food is halal but it's not good, it doesn't process nicely, it doesn't taste good, if you take the food or for any other product as well, even any kind of product, it has to be, has a kind of quality related to halal, as have a high quality, will affect the opinion, will affect the supply chain as well. The halal supply chain is very important. This usually, if we go to food, we start the supply chain from farm to fork or from the farm to table. But this, if this is not available, the supply chain will cut some place and they will affect the market. So the market parameter, all this should be fulfilled as well. Combining the previous two slides, one slide, the previous slide, one of them for evolution of halal market, the other one's for halal market parameters. That shows the increasing need for new market opportunities coupled with growing halal awareness that has pushed the halal into public vigilance or public awareness. Furthermore, the convergence or the meeting or the conjunction of values with natural food movement and other co-ethical initiatives has created growing consumer opportunity for halal market. So here I combined the previous two slides, one for evolution of halal market and the other slide for halal market parameters. So the title of this slide will be Evolution of Halal as Defining Halal Market Parameters. So we see this is the previous evolution of halal market. We use these 4 arrows: halal lifestyle, up market, regulatory, or the same thing, the mainstream as well. And so we see the interaction for evolution or evolving the halal market and make it better and make the chance there for halal market, especially in Africa as a continent, but this is could be everywhere. In every place can be done. Every country separately, every place. Since Muslims are there, the consumers are there, and the halal parameters, all these will help to evolve and to make the halal market is a good potential in our continent as well. Since this conference is in South Africa, we try to show some success story or a challenge was done in Muslim tourism or this hospitality and tourism or whatever they name here. The Islamic Travel and Tours is a boutique agency tailored to attend the complete needs for Muslim traveler in South Africa. They plan honeymoons for Muslim couple they arrange visits to a Muslim-owned predator park in Johannesburg, and they schedule tours South Africa to first mosque, the first mosque in South Africa built in Cape Town, that was 1794. They also arrange tours and trips on safari and leave rooms, and it is client itineraries, ritual prayer and dinner. Of course, they have the halal food or halal dietary laws, following the halal dietary laws. It will even match the client local families. They call it homestay. That's also a very good experience in many countries. The homestay, especially for Muslim tourists, and homestay by Muslim who share their religious background, giving tourists the chance to solidify the experience of South Africa for Muslim or for halal tourism. Here I'm trying to make a milestone or a challenging milestone for halal industry and trade in Africa. That's just I created by my own. I guess if we start this year to 2020, well, it's already started some time ago, but if we start from we just elaborated halal awareness, beginning the studies and marketing for the trading everywhere in Africa. Just start this year 2020, you go for halal awareness for everywhere. So till we reach 2025, establishing halal trading centers and standards, having the halal standards globally and locally everywhere in the world. It's already there, but we elaborate, we use Africa as a center for that halal standards. So for the 2030, we reach that to spread halal lifestyle and make sure that halal for all mankind. We don't stick to Muslim order, because everyone like to have a good halal tayyiban or good food. Everyone like to have good food. Everyone like to have good clothes. Everyone like to have things that good and like it. Everyone like it. That for the halal trading. If we come to halal industry, definitely without industry there's no trade. So we have to develop the long-term and short-term plans for halal industry. So that's for 2020. If we go for 2025, establishing halal industry rules and regulation, the standards for local and global trade as well, to compete the global trade, because that's very difficult to compete the industry worldwide. So till we reach 2030, to be internationally renowned for halal, all African countries or most of African countries, we want to be renowned halal industry and become a global favorite halal product and service. The first choice should be in the halal industry at that level. In Africa, I want it in 2030. The first choice for Africa is to be halal. So these general recommendations at the end of my presentation. Most African countries have high percentage of Muslim population, as we see in the previous slide. African countries should plan to expand and strengthen the agriculture production to be fundamentally self-sufficient and exporting agricultural goods rather than importing food. There is a high potential opportunity in agro-processing industry and tourism sectors in many African countries, and that's very clear. Islamic banking sector services should support the halal industry production, service and trade as well. So applying the halal standards for quality products will help to compete in the global halal market. With that, thank you very much for listening and being patient. Thank you. Mohamed, Elwathig, Saeed, Mirghani, in Heart, IIUM, Malaysia. Thank you.